Hiya, my name's Eleanor, and it's very cold at the minute in the UK, and a way of warming up would be to do some sun salutations. In yoga, we use sun salutations after we've mobilised the joints a little bit, prior to going into sort of the main asanas, the main postures. So I wouldn't say get out of bed, get out of the car, get up off the desk or the sofa and go straight into a sun salutation, no way. But if you're quite active, you've got up, you've got dressed, you've done a few activities that day where you've been moving around using your joints, then I would say that it would be okay to go into these gentle sun salutations that we're going to do together now. There's loads of different sun salutations. This is probably based on a fairly common sun salutation, but that I've adapted a little bit along the way, and there's options for softening and options for progressing. So it's going to be a way of warming those up a little bit, getting the heart rate up, getting some heat to the muscles, letting the joints, allowing them to secrete some synovial fluid, and we'll just feel a little bit better on a cold day like this. Of course, you could do it anywhere in the world, in any climate, just to wake the body up and feel a little bit warmer. So come to the front of your yoga mat, and feet can be slightly apart to begin. We're going to breathe in and draw a nice big sunshine with our arms. Take our eye gaze up. Breathe out, fold forwards into Uttanasana. We're going to do this with straight legs, if possible. If not, give them a little soften. We're going to bring the crown of the head down if possible. We could yes and no the head a little bit. If you feel dizzy through dropping the head, then you could glance slightly forwards. We're going to breathe in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, look to the wall in front. So you might bring your hands to your shins, your thighs. You might find that you get that length from bringing the hands to the floor. Breathing out, we're going to bend the knees and step the right leg back. So we're in a low lunge now. We're checking that the left knee is not over the toes, so the knee's sat above the ankle. To soften this, we can lower that knee down and uncurl the toes. So we're sort of breathing with quite deliberately as we go in and out of postures. Whilst in the posture, we're just breathing naturally. So if you have that knee down, you can go ahead and just tuck the toes under and lift that knee now. We're going to breathe in and step the left leg back, so we're in a plank. We're looking down at the mat so the spine's aligned. We can take the feet wider to make it easier, or we can lower the knees down to make it easier again. Having the feet together is a bit harder. We're going to breathe out and come down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Keep breathing. If you want it a bit harder, hover the knees. If you want it harder again, hover the chest. Breathe in, we're going to let the hips come down and curl the toes. We're going to lift the chest off the mat and look along the floor. Breathing out, shoulders away from the ears. This is baby cobra. Breathing in, we can stay here. If we want more, we can breathe in again. Arms almost straight. Breathe out, shoulders away from the ears, looking ahead. Maybe looking around a little bit, full cobra. Stay here. Or if you want more, straighten the arms, lift the hips off the mat. Breathing in, ease the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing out, looking up slightly. We've come into up dog. Two options here to get into downward dog. We might come into cat. So we would bring the hands slightly back. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Tuck the toes under, let the knees hover. Breathe in and breathe out as you push the bottom up into the sky for downward dog. That's one option. So you might have gone ahead and you might stay with that option, breathing into downward dog. If you think you would like a little bit more, then we can do this from up dog. So that we tuck the toes under, we lift the knees off the mat, and we breathe in as we swing the bottom up into downward dog. Breathe out as you're getting up there. So here we are in downward dog, and you might then step the feet in a little bit. So we're going to spend 3 breaths here. We're pushing the chest down, we're scooping the rib cage up towards the spine. We're dropping the head, gazing to the back of the mat, the feet or the navel. Any dizziness, we might glance forwards. Tops of the thighs come back, and we're trying to ease the heels down. We might do 1 at a time, we might do 2 together. looking between the hands. We're going to come out of downward dog now. So we might drop the knees to the mat and step that foot forwards. We might need to do a couple of steps. We might need to use the hand to push that leg forwards. We might feel that we can do it from downward dog, but we might want to take a couple of steps. We might want to use the hand. We might want to lift that right leg and lunge it. The lift gives some momentum. Lunge it forwards. You might feel like you can't manage the lift, but you can manage the lunge. Breathing in. So lots of options there. Once you find your option, obviously it's very quick. You just go to the option that you know you can manage. Breathe out, draw the left in, and we're going to keep the knees bent, rest the tummy on the thighs, hold the hands behind the knees or hold hand to elbow and tuck the head in. So this is another version of Ardha Uttanasana, half Uttanasana. You might like to take the feet a bit wider for it. And then we're going to breathe in, we're going to draw that nice sunshine shape. Drishti, eye gaze up, and breathe out, Tadasana. So we're going to do that again. This time we stepped the right leg back first and brought the right leg forwards first. So this time we're going to do the left back first. I'm going to come this way. I'm still going to do my left leg, but just so that I feel like I've not got my back to the camera the whole time, but you can just stay where you are on the mat and just take the left back. So Tadasana, standing mountain. That's like this. Feet slightly apart. We can just soften the knees. We can draw the tailbone in, which then draws the lower abdominal area in. And we could have the middle fingers sitting down the seam of the trousers or the middle of the legs. We can just bring the hands into Anjali Mudra. Breathing in, big sunshine. Breathe out, fold forwards, Uttanasana. I realise that you can't see me at all there, can you? So breathing in, big sunshine, breathe out, Uttanasana. Again, easier with feet further apart, crown of the head's down if possible, if not look forwards. Breathe in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, look to the wall in front. Breathe out, stepping the left leg back, low lunge. I'm going to shuffle forwards now. And you can put that knee down if you want to. Breathing in, right back, plank. So remember, you can take the feet wider, you can drop the knees to the mat. For Chaturanga, you might do knees, chest, chin down, or you might go straight to the point where you hover. So you might think, I'm going to hover my knees and my chest, so I'm going to go straight to that point of hovering. You might prefer to bring those 3 points down and then start to lift. You might keep 3 points down, of course. Breathe in, hips down, uncurl the toes. Come into your back bend, baby cobra, full cobra, or up dog. Breathe out, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, choosing cat, downward dog, or swinging up from up dog to downward dog. Breathing out when you get there. And if you've gone from up dog, you might like to just step your feet in a little bit and adjust. 3 breaths. Head heavy, looking to the navel, the feet, the back of the mat, whichever feels best, but letting the head be heavy. Any dizziness, glance forwards. Breathing in, we're going to bring the left foot between the hands. You've got several options. Cat, stepping the leg forwards, stepping from downward dog, lunging, lifting and lunging. Breathing in. Breathing out, draw the right in, keep the knees bent, press the tummy on the thighs, wrap the hands to the elbows, behind the knees, tuck the head in. Breathe in, lift the chest. Drawing that sunshine, breathe out, Tadasana. So let's do another 2, quickening it up a little bit, and you taking those options as you want to. So taking those progressions, taking those modifications, and I might dip in and out of sometimes doing a softer option, sometimes doing a progressed option. Okay, so to the front of your mat. Breathing in, extend the Tadasana. Looking up, breathing out, fold forwards, Uttanasana with straight legs. Breathe in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, look ahead, Ardha Uttanasana. Breathe out, right leg back, low lunge. You can always put that knee down. Breathe in left to meet it, plank. You can look down at the mat. You can take it a bit easier by widening the feet or lowering the knees. Breathing out for chaturanga. Knees, chest, chin down, or you might come straight to that point of hovering the knees or the knees and the chest off the mat. Breathe in, hips down and curl the toes. Lift to the back bend of your choice. I'm going to lift to full cobra here this time. Elbows are slightly bent and I can look ahead, I can look around. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, if you're in up dog, you might swing straight up to downward dog maybe. In the other two options, you might come cat, then downward dog. Breathing in, breathing out. You might need to step the feet a little bit in just to readjust. 3 breaths here. Push the chest down, back, tops of the thighs back, head heavy if possible. Grounding evenly between the feet and the hands. Feeling that strength in the shoulders, that length in the spine. Looking between the hands, we're going to come out of it. We're going to get the right foot between the hands. So you might lift and lunge, you might do a couple of steps, you might drop to cat and then step it forwards. Breathe out, draw the left in, keep the tummy on the thighs, hold the hands or hand to elbow behind the knees, tuck the head in. Sort of can recuperate a little bit here, catch your breath. Breathe in, draw that sunshine, drishti gaze up. Breathe out, Tadasana, standing mountain. So we're going to do one more. So that was the right leg back, this will be the left leg back. Breathing in, extended Tadasana, breathing out, Uttanasana. Breathing in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, look ahead. Breathe out, left leg back. Remember, you can always keep that knee down. Breathing in, the right steps back. So if that knee was down, you'd of course have to lift that left knee down. Plank. We can make it easier by taking the feet wider. Chaturanga Dandasana, breathing out. You might do knees, chest, chin down. You might hover straight to that point where the knees and the chest are above the mat, or the knees are above the mat. Breathe in, hips down, uncurl the toes. Scoop to the back bend of your choice. Baby cobra, full cobra, or up dog. Breathe out, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to go to downward dog. We're going to do either cat, downward dog, or swinging up from up dog. From up dog, tuck the toes under, lift the knees, swinging up. Breathing out as the bottom gets into the sky, and maybe just stepping the feet in a little bit to readjust. 3 breaths. Pushing the chest down, scoop the rib cage to the spine, drop the head, heels to the mat. Now sometimes we can walk the heels down if the lower calves are quite tight or any Achilles tendon issues. Sometimes we can get them both down. Breathe in, we're looking between the hands and we're going to get the left foot there. Several options, as you know. Pick the option that's right for you. Breathe out, draw the right in. Tummy on the thighs, hold your hands to your elbows, tuck the head in. Ardha Uttanasana. And breathe in, big circle, big sunshine, drishti upwards. And breathe out, Tadasana. So I removed a layer and prior to doing the sun sal, just now I was considering a hot bath to get warm, so it definitely generates that heat in the body, and it's good for then going on to a deeper practice, deeper stretching or strengthening postures where we might be perhaps taking weight on the joints. So we want to have the joints nice and supple and warmed up with that synovial fluid before we do anything like that. So yeah, sun sals, and as I say, that was just one type of sun sal, and they're probably slightly adapted by me as well, and there are many. Om Shanti, which means peace.